Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm very excited today to be showing you guys the Titanium 200 Unlimited. It's a multi-process inverter welder. I grabbed this thing about 2 months ago and I've already put it through the ringer, so today I'm going to show it to you guys and I'll tell you what I think about it, and then we'll burn some rods. We'll have a good time. Let's do it. Bam, here it is, the Titanium Unlimited 200. My first impressions, guys, I love it. I love the digital display. Isn't that just beautiful? I love the green color. Wow, just very unique, okay? This is a multi-process welder, which means you can run it stick, MIG, or TIG, or FCAW, flux cord. So this switch right here, right now, it's all the way down, right? You see that? That's in the MIG setting. You put it in the middle, now you're on TIG, all the way up, now you're on stick. It's very simple machine, great for beginners, great for the home DIYer. Over here you have your 2T, 4T switch, right? So basically 2T is when you're MIGging, when you have it in the MIG setting, if you have this switch in 2T, right, you'll pull the trigger on your MIG gun and you'll have to hold it to continue running your bead. When you let go of the trigger, it will stop. When you have it in the 4T, you can pull the trigger, let go of the trigger, and it will continue welding. And when you want to stop welding, you're done with your bead, you pull the trigger again and let it go and it will stop. Now the only purpose for that, in my opinion, is if you are running really long continuous beads on like a pipe that's on like a positioner or something like that, or just anything really long continuous, which I'm not doing here, so I just keep it in the 2T most of the time. Over here you have your knob, so when you're in the MIG setting, this knob right here will be your wire feed speed, and the knob in the middle is your voltage speed, and the knob on your right is your inductance for your MIG. I don't mess with the inductance too much. I usually just keep it on 5 and can't really go wrong with that. When you put it in the TIG setting over here, this becomes your amperage knob. And when you put it on stick, you get your amperage knob all the way over here on the left. In the middle will be what's called your hot start knob. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody in the comments. As far as I know, the hot start is similar to like the arc force on, say, like a Miller or like a Lincoln. And basically the hot start will just kind of add a little bit of heat right when you strike your arc, depending what you have it set on, just to kind of help you transition into the weld cleaner and just easier. It'll just give you a little bit more heat and then settle down. Coming around to the side here, it actually opens up, and then you have your basic settings, you know, for whatever you're doing, MIGging, TIGging, you know, stainless, aluminum. It tells you what you should be using for shielding gas, which is really cool. It makes it really easy. Different thicknesses of materials and everything. Very helpful. I really love this chart. Very convenient. In here, you got your wire reel. You have an adapter here, so you can put the 10-pounder on there if you choose. You get your tensioner over here. This housing in here, I'm honestly very impressed. It's not cheap plastic. It's all metal, you know, nothing plastic. Take this off. Your rollers are all metal. It's not cheap, so you can actually run a spool gun on this machine too. If you want to run your spool gun, you have to come up here and select that switch, put it in the spool position. But I'm running a MIG gun. I'm actually running flux core, so I'll keep it in the MIG. Close that up. Up on top here, you just have some more charts for TIGging and sticking. You get your duty cycles. The duty cycle on this is something like 15% at 200 amps, which isn't horrible. It's a dual voltage. Coming around to the back here, you get dual voltage, 120 or 240, depending what you're plugged into. You just have to select. You get your gas input here, and you get your on-off. One thing I want to say is that when you're on 120 and you want to stick weld, it will only go up to 70 amps, which is not really useful in my opinion, because it's like, well, what are you stick welding on 70 amps maximum? Like, seriously, you might as well just MIG on 120 power. And I've used this machine on 120 to MIG, and it held up really good. I'm really impressed. So down here you have your ports. This is for your MIG gun, and then you have your power for your MIG gun right here, plugs in right here, and then you just get your positive and your negative terminals. It weighs in at 24 pounds, which is really nice. It's easily transportable, so If you got some work to do at the homie's house or whatever, it's no problem getting it over there. You can run an extension cord on any regular wall outlet or whatever. Maybe the little old lady in town needs her freaking lawn chair fix. I don't know, you could help her out. So I love how it's portable. I love the digital display. I love the green color. I just think that's beautiful. So first impressions right out of the box. For $800, I would expect something decent, not the best in the world, but this is a decent machine. It truly is. I'm impressed. Coming straight out of the box, of course, you get the machine itself, you get all the cables, you get a MIG gun, you get a regulator here that's just kind of cheap, you know, but whatever. I'm not one to complain about everything, but it works. You just got some spare consumables for your MIG gun and some spare parts for your TIG torch. Here's your adapter, your 120 to 240 adapter, very simple. Here's your TIG torch. I haven't even set it up yet, but it's nice that it came with this. This machine won't do high frequency TIG, so it's only scratch start. Oh, that's fine for me. And then it came with the stinger. Guys, check out the stinger. Check out the stinger, honestly. Look at this thing. This thing holds up pretty good. I'm gonna try that out later. And over here you've got your ground clamp, and it's on the cheaper side. They always are. They always are. Big deal. And then you got your MIG gun right here. Oh jeez, look at that tip. See, that's neglect right there. That is just neglect. But anyways, the MIG gun's basic. It's nothing special. You could always get something better if you want, but it's fine for the house, fine for me. So I actually made that card. If you guys want to check out the video, I'll post a link right here, or I'll post a link in the description too for you guys. So. And then it just came with your instruction manual. You know, it's very detailed instructions. Especially for beginners, you'll be able to set this thing up, no problem. It tells you step by step how to do it for the different processes, you know, decep, descend, you know, tigging, MIGging, sticking, whatever you want to do. Flux core is different from MIG, so, you know, very easy to figure out. Another thing I really like is this quick start guide that it came with to show you how to set up your leads for a different process. This is perfect for beginners and, you know, people who don't do this all the time, because let's be honest, it definitely does get confusing trying to figure out the leads for your TIG and your MIG. It's all different. You know, even flux core is opposite from straight up MIG. Flux core runs on descend, MIG is decep. So, you know, this makes it super easy. Definitely something to hang on to and not throw away. Tells you how to change your wire, everything. Makes it super easy. Anybody can figure it out. Change all the parts on your TIG torch and your MIG guns. So, you know, anybody could pull this machine out and start messing with it. All right, so let's get to the good part. But first, we got a checklist. Exhaust, get it on. 240 all day, baby. Plug it in. Ensure you're on 240, otherwise an error code will appear, and kick her on. Okay, we're all set up for stick welding in direct current electrode positive decep. That means I have my electrode holder, my stinger, in the positive terminal, and I got my cheap ground clamp into the negative terminal. All we're gonna do, ground our workplace, and we're good to go. All right, so we're all set up for some stick welding, and today I've got some 7018, some 6011, and some 6010 here. One thing I've noticed with this machine in my experience is that it struggles with 6010, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So I'm just gonna run some beads on this plate here, and we'll see how they look. Starting with the 6011 in our funky stinger. Direct current, electrode positive, 100 amps. A little hot. Felt really good though. Ooh yeah. 6011 right there, looking nice. 7018 Excalibur. Hey, that felt really good too. $70.18. There's a little bit of porosity right here at the beginning, but otherwise that bead looks great. Nice and blended, nice and flush. So you get 60-11, 70-18. Let's try some 60-10. One thing I've noticed with these machines at home is for some reason I always have to short arc them. Really keep my arc really tight and run the machine decently hot. Like 100 amps is pretty good on heat. 60-10 I've found that I have to short arc it the most in order to make it hot. Try it out. 1/8, 60-10, 100 amps. I don't know if you guys could see that, but the problem I've been having with this machine is when I'm running 60-10, it keeps losing its arc. And I'm short arcing it, I'm super close, I'm pretty much in the puddle. It's at 100 amps, that's plenty hot, so I don't understand why. And there's your 60-10 bead right there. So it looks decent, but still it's losing its arc and it doesn't run as smooth as the 60-11 or the 70-18. Now yes, I could figure out why this machine doesn't run 60-10 as smooth as some other rods out there. You know, it could be the power in my garage, it could be the thickness of my welding leads, they're kind of thin. It could be the chemical composition of the rod. So yes, I could Google it, I could figure it out myself, but I prefer to interact with you fine people here on YouTube. So somebody let me know down in the comments what you think. So since 60-11 and 70-18 ran smoothest, I'm going to run a T-joint, 60-11 on one side and 70-18 on the other. We'll tack it up, 60-11, one side. Okay, and we're all tacked up, so alright, enough bitching and moaning about that 60-10. Who would even want to be a stick welder anyways? Ugh, yuck. That shit is nasty. Anyways, let's get into some of that MIG action. What I have is some .025 solid core mild steel MIG wire, and I'll show you how to set it up. So first thing I'm going to do is swap my roller around from .030 to .025. Next, I want to put my reel of wire on. Then you have your assorted hardware. So then it wants to go a keyed washer. You see how it has that little nipple in there? Slides right in there. And then a spring, small spring. Goes right on. Another keyed washer. Right on there, and a wing nut. You want to just go decently tight so it doesn't unwind. You want to keep tension on this roll of wire at all times. The next thing you want to do is feed your reel right into your guide. push it through your housing, right into your MIG gun. Go about a foot into your MIG gun. Then you can close up your tensioner. And for solid wire, you want to set your tension between 3 and 5. For flux cord, it's between 2 and 3. So we'll go right about 4. And then you'll just pull the trigger on your MIG gun, and it will feed right through, and you're good to go. One thing I should probably show you guys is that after you hook up your MIG gun into the proper port, come back on the inside here, and you see this little wing bolt here? You need to make sure that you snug it up all the way. Pardon my thumb, I jacked it up in a bloody accident at a local hardware store. But anyhow, if you don't tighten that wing bolt and your MIG gun starts pulling out, you're gonna get all kinds of messed up in here. It's not going to be fun. All right, let's get after some of that MIG, huh? All right, so all cleaned up. I got my gas on 30 CFH. It's 75% argon, 25% CO2. I've got my wire feed speed on 375 and 22 volts. This is 0.025 wire. And I'm just gonna run some stringers here, and we'll see how they come out. This machine does MIG phenomenal, in my opinion. So I'm just going to run a couple of quick lap joints here. Let's go for a macaroni and cheese. So for this side of my lap joint, I'm going to pull the puddle. And for my other side, I'm going to push the puddle, and we'll see the difference. Pull. So that's on the pull. Not bad. Now for the push. so that's your push, and that's not bad either. Seems like you got a little bit more penetration on the push than you do with the pull. See how that's more concave, and this is more, you know, just filled in there nicely. It's not so round here, right in the middle. So there it is, 8.5 out of 10 stars for the Titanium Unlimited 200 Multiprocess Welder. Complete review inside and out, and handles like a champ when put through the paces. I think it's safe to say this machine works best in the MIG setting, and even gives my Hobart Tombstone a run for its money when stick welding. Unfortunate about that 60-10 issue though. That stuff is like my own personal bread and butter in the wide and diverse world of stick rods. Anyhow, for $800, $850, it is definitely a solid and reliable tool. Works as it should, even better than I originally thought. As far as its lifespan, well, I can't say for sure how long it'll last. So until then, I'll keep doing my thing and pushing her to its limits. Cheers to a long and prosperous life for you, me, and this Titanium 200 welding machine. Later.